Hello everyone, Base Digimon here, and all my homies love Jellymon.
True.
And I'll tell you why. In the episode 5 review of Digimon Ghost Game. Now it feels like with Ghost Game, week on week, this is banger on banger.
That's good!
I'll give you brief coverage of the events in the episode, I'll tell you what I thought was most notable, and then what I thought of the episode itself. So everyone, if that tickles your fancy, stick around, enjoy the video. Here is the general gist of the episode. Kiyoshiro be smart, but Jellymon be smarter. Kiyoshiro develops virtual talismans to keep the hologram ghosts away. In fact, 1,000 of them. Jellymon, without him knowing, used those virtual talismans as a money-stopping scheme. Why did she do it? On principle of how smart she is. This angers a Digimon known as Majiramon, who is an ultimate and/or perfect level, and essentially safeguards the flow of wealth. This angers Majiramon, and now he wants to bring the hammer down on Kiyoshiro, along with his cohorts featuring Quetzalmon and Goemon. Does it confirm my suspicions from the pre-show and weeks before that Jellymon was actually haunting Kiyoshiro long before they actually met? Yes, it does.
Pow!
Oh, can't be me predicting things and getting it right again. I did get something wrong in the pre-show. I assumed that Kiyoshiro was going to be the coward and run, and Jellymon be the more noble and heroic Digimon. But that just wasn't the case. In fact, there were points in the episode where Kiyoshiro and Jellymon were embracing each other's more detrimental characteristic traits. But it was Kiyoshiro in this episode who turned it around and in fact revealed his true nature. The fact that an anime protagonist is also an anime fan and wants to be an anime protagonist is quite ironic. Jellymon pointing out his interests really adds more dimensions to his character, and I think he's by far the most interesting out of Ruli, Hiro, and Kiyoshiro. He's just very imperfect, but very talented, and very real. And Jellymon is, well, a power bottom. But Jellymon is this more possessive and cheeky, mischievous character as we suspected. Has this real connection with Kiyoshiro that she has not yet herself explained, being taken advantage of earlier in the episode, and kind of embracing him and admiring Kiyoshiro later in the episode. Very interesting partnership between the two. So some of the notable features would include them not giving a about this giant skyscraper-sized Digimon walking towards him. In fact, Hiro and Gammon look excited about this, which I just don't understand. How could you possibly show any kind of excitement with a Digimon of that caliber coming towards you? Very strange, very strange. There was a point in the episode where Kiyoshiro mentioned something about being too late to implement a vaccine program, and it was kind of out of nowhere too, so I feel like they want us to hold on to that line from Kiyoshiro, and I think we will be reminded of this later on at some stage. It seems like Kiyoshiro's character kind of functions in the sense that his real identity is that of a coward, but he has taken up the role of dorm leader, and thus that gives him an ego, responsibility, and some level of confidence to take on these challenges, which include the Digimon in this episode. That was a pretty big moment we got from Kiyoshiro this episode, so I can only imagine in the future we will probably be reminded of the fact that he is the dorm leader and therefore has to do X, Y, and or Z. At the end of the episode, and I've seen a few comments saying this already on different videos, but people are saying that because Jellymon called Kiyoshiro her darling, that means that she loves him, and she also gave him looks of admiration when he had this kind of glowing moment. This is the thing about social interaction. See, when I read my darling, I don't interpret that as being I'm in love with you. Where I'm from, being called a darling is something that your lunch lady calls you when you say please and thank you. It's not really a sincere sign of love. I'm not sure what it's like across the world or where you're from, but I just didn't take it that seriously. Maybe you do for that reason. It's like a politeness, a way of showing appreciation for someone who's maybe younger or of the opposite sex. So yeah, I guess we can only really see where that goes in the future. I would be very confused if they went a romantic route with Jellymon. That's kind of because nothing's really going to come of that, so what's really the point in pursuing that? I thought it was interesting how hologram ghost Digimon and these urban myths about money are intertwined, and how that Angoramon and Jellymon alike could both sense that something was coming. You know, there's obviously a strong connection between the Digimon and these urban legends, so to speak, otherwise they wouldn't have known what was coming, and I'm hoping we get more of this later on. And then finally, what did Base Digimon think of the episode? I think for anyone watching this this would definitely have a few laughs. The chemistry between Kiyoshiro and Jellymon is really amazing. I mean, really. You know, between Brilliant and Goromon, it's almost like a spontaneous best friendship. Out of the appreciation of music, between Hero and Gammon, it's this forced brother-sibling relationship. It works, but it is forced. Whereas between Kiyoshiro and Jellymon, it's so organic and natural. There's this natural chemistry. I think it's because they're so similar and you can really feel that. I, for one, really enjoyed the way they used First Riders in this episode. The way it cuts out from Betel Gammon but then cues back in for Kiyoshiro. Great moment. Big fan. And I think the one thing they definitely smashed in this episode was the facial expressions and movements of Kiyoshiro, so sporadic and random. It really portrays well how uncomfortable of a character he is and how awkward he is. Granted, we didn't get much of anything regarding plot, but it is an introductory episode to Kiyoshiro and Jellymon as a partnership, so what it did for the partnership, it did a great job. However, my expectations now, starting from next week, we hit the ground running and we start getting some breadcrumbs of plot, uncovering the overall mystery as we go along. But this episode was a really nice final introductory episode or tutorial episode of Digimon Ghost Game. That's kind of how I view it. Episode 5 of Digimon Ghost Game, what did you think of it? Leave a comment and we'll talk about it. But everyone, thank you for joining me today for the episode 5 review. Please like, comment and subscribe for more Digimon content. I upload multiple times a week, and well, I'm here to stay, so you might as well tag along. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time, but most importantly, take care.